What's up, everybody? We're Hood Rats 205. I'm Coob.
I'm Stub.
What's up? I'm Ferg.
And this is our Euro R swap Honda Accord.
Round one. Maybe at the stoplight, on site, green light, go. Wanna ride, we can take a drive. Maybe at the spot right, on site, green light, go. We can take it to the road sign, hit the clutch, pedal gas, better no feather, keep it pressed, bitch press. I don't think they know better. I'm a beast, like a million gears, like a timepiece. I can beat a motherfucker, I don't see behind me. Find me, slide it sideways, I make my way, my mistakes. Keep talking shit, don't come playing if you don't want no game.
Alright, to introduce you to the CB7, let me break down that designation into its parts. CB is the chassis code for the fourth generation of Honda Accords that were originally brought to market in 1990. This included the CB3, CB7, and CB9 Accords. The CB3 is the 2.0 liter sedans and coupes that they got overseas. The CB7 specifically is the 2.2 liter variant that we got in the US, and the CB9 is a wagon that came out the following year that became the only variant to be produced exclusively in the US and exported overseas. This fourth generation of Accords were produced globally in a number of places, including Japan, Indonesia, Thailand, and the US, whose Maryville, Ohio plant was the exclusive producer of the aforementioned CB9 Accord wagons. So now that you know what a CB7 is, let's go over why it's significant. The fourth generation of Accords began the globalization of the platform, being the first to truly be sold all around the world for the standards of the time, and continuing to grow past that point. They not only sold in more places, but they sold very well. We'd be willing to bet most, if not everyone watching, has or has had one themselves, or knows someone who has or has had one. I say this because the last year of the previous generation saw Accords become the best-selling import vehicle in America, which also means the fourth generation was the first response to that rise in popularity. And what a response it was, with over 1.5 million sold in just the US market alone. The rest of the world followed the trend of incredible sales, though those numbers are a bit harder to track. So that being said, let us know your experience. Do you have one? Did you have one? Do you know someone who had one or does now? We love these cars and we'd love to hear how they've been in your lives. Carrying on, the fourth generation was built with not only the drive itself in mind, but the driver as well. With the addition of airbags, crash testing, and speed-sensitive power steering, drivers everywhere knew they were in good hands, and the sales numbers definitely speak to that fact. Another new addition to the fourth generation Accord, thanks to the tightening auto safety regulations from the NHTSA, came in all 1990 and 1991 Accords sold in the US. These cars came with every driver's deepest love: automatic shoulder belts. And if that's not your thing, the 92 to 93 Accords came with the current standard of seatbelts you're probably used to. To speak on a proud accomplishment of the 1990 to 1993 Accords, they broke the 100 horsepower barrier of their predecessors with 125 horsepower, although they did have a slightly lower 0 to 60 and got lower mileage than previous generations. 1994 to 1997 saw Honda offer a trunk-mounted 6-disc CD changer that they did end up moving to the dash in the 98 to 02 models, which also added keyless entry and had a little over 1.8 million in overall sales. All cars from the fourth generation sold in North America came standard with a totally new, fully aluminum 2.2 liter 16-valve engine with electronic fuel injection that we lovingly know as the F22. Those with an automatic transmission used an electronically controlled rear engine mount that reduced low frequency noise and vibration. This wasn't exactly a new concept in itself, but it was the first instance of a genuinely affordable platform utilizing this technology. Some models sold overseas even had a 4-wheel steering option. Now, aside from the safety, function, and features, there's the design. The fourth generation of Accord set the design architecture that Honda would use over the next few generations, only ending due to the advent of the K-Series and J-Series engines and the tightening of safety regulations globally that changed the game for a lot of car manufacturers. The fourth generation Accord's design blueprint would define the platform for over a decade, well into the early 2000s. And why should you care about any of that? Well, if you're watching this video to begin with, it's safe to assume you're interested in car culture in some way, and if you like cars like we do, then you'd love what the CB7 has to offer. First, it's more than affordable. You can find well-loved, well-taken care of examples being sold for about $2,000 to $4,000. Just get in and go, no worries. If you don't mind putting in a little elbow grease, you can find them even cheaper at about half that price. $1,000 to $2,000, maybe a little bit of work on your end. Then there's the special case examples that we've run into personally. Our project that we've been showcasing our work on as we go ended up in our hands for only $800. We've done a lot since then, and we still have a ways to go, but we set out with about the most involved idea for this project that you could have. We've engine swapped it, manual swapped it, and a whole lot more that you can see in our short form content on all other major social medias. We will also be elaborating more on the project as a whole in long form videos right here on our YouTube channel in the days to come. And if you want to see the raw, unedited process start to finish, we have it all up to this point, and we'll be adding more as we make progress over on our Patreon.
The Hood Rats 205 merch store is your one-stop shop for premium headwear such as the Mother Trucker, the Rat Bed, the Rat Bag, as well as premium graphic tees such as the Shitboxes Love Super Soft Tee, the FU Hops Classic Tee, and the Absolutely Torque Oversized Tie-Dye Tee on hoodrats205.com/shop. You can also find premium Hood Rats streetwear such as our Hip and Happening hoodies, sloping sweatpants, and socks. hoodrats205.com/shop.
My own personal daily driver is a 1991 Accord aptly named Charles Bartholomew 7 that I bought for $500 and drove an hour home the day I got it. The only hiccup I encountered was having to drain a bit of oil that the previous owner overfilled it with. I knew when I got it that Charlie would need a good amount of love, which I've been gradually chipping away at over time, but all in all, I've put about what I bought it for into it and ended up with a fun and reliable car that I'm excited to drive every day, and I only really have cosmetics to worry about outside of the normal maintenance. And that brings me to my next point. The support for these cars is absolutely phenomenal. Just about anything you can think to do, there's aftermarket support to do it. Want to change your headlights or your taillights? Amazon has some genuinely cool and affordable options, and if you're looking for a little something to set yourself apart, you can hunt down some of the rare glass single-piece factory JDM headlights that are out there waiting for a new home. Headers, intakes, exhausts, radiators, turbos if you want them. Like to stance your cars? You've got coilovers and air suspension readily available, and camber kits are only a click away. The lug pattern is 4x114, so you'll be a bit limited in that regard, but you can easily convert to 5 lug with later Accord or Odyssey parts and have the world of wheels at your fingertips. And if there's anything you want extras of, need to outright replace, or just want to change to one of the other factory options that were available, you're almost guaranteed to find what you're looking for in one junkyard or another. All of that comes together to explain the amazing culture that developed around and due to these cars. The style added fuel to the fire of people expressing themselves through their cars. People all around the world love to take the platform as far as it can go, and show off their hard work in any way possible. You have communities that were built around the ownership of these cars. You have the integration into other communities that the CB7s fit right into. People grew closer to each other because of these cars, and we felt that right here in our own shop. Now that we're well acquainted, I can tell you what we've got to come for this project of ours. We're going to be trading out that engine for a JDM Prelude SIR Spec S H22A, and the transmission with an M2Z4 5-speed shorter ratio gearbox with a limited slip differential. Along with that, we're going to be throwing in a whole bunch of goodies and some things we had to figure out along the way. What we want out of this project is an OEM Plus style build with a bit more power, a bit more rev, some added responsiveness, and a touch of luxury. We kind of want this to be the hopped up, dual overhead cam, quote unquote, CB7 Euro R or SIR that Honda never really gave us, but was always possible with some traded parts and some minor adjustments. With that being said, it looks like we've just about got this engine out. Tune in with us next time to see some of those goodies we mentioned, along with the next steps for what you already know. And if you don't like to wait, our Patreon is your place. Hood Rats out.